Hey guys, as some of you may know, SOE just released their in-progress plans for the Liberator update next month, and I thought I'd read through them and give you my first impression on them. So, just so all of you know, I wrote this post about 30 minutes ago, and at the moment I am actually looking at it. I'm just going to go through here, read each thing that they have on here, and give you my first thought about what it is. Don't have anything written down or any ideas ahead of time, so hopefully video's not horrible. And if you like stuff like this, tell me and I'll try to make more of it in the future. Before I even get into it, I'm incredibly excited about this, and the vast majority of these look like really good options. They're things people have been asking for, and I feel like they're really going to help the Liberator out. So first up, they're going to be adding crew experience, an ammo display for the pilot, and a vehicle-only voice channel. All three of these are awesome ideas. Crew experience, I'm assuming they're going to implement something like Battlefield, where if anyone in the vehicle gets a kill or an assist, everyone in the vehicle gets a little chunk of XP for that. The ammo display is going to be really nice. It will especially help people who have random gunners that they might not be communicating with. It'll help you know when your gunner needs ammo, and it'll help you stay in the fight better. A vehicle-only voice channel would be another thing that would be great. People have been asking for it since beta, and it'll really help a pilot and a gunner communicate better. Now, they're also looking at adjusting the certifications for the power of stealth, afterburner, adding tank shells to the composite armor resist, and increasing racer performance speed bonus. I think all of these, depending on, obviously what they do with them, are great ideas. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do with stealth. Maybe they will increase the rank of it or increase how long it takes to lock on with it. Adding power to Afterburner is a great idea. Afterburners are already really awesome utility slots, and giving them a little more power will really help people out for engaging ground and getting out of those sticky situations. Adding a tank shell resist to composite armor, feel like that's a great idea. One of the problems with a Liberator and engaging grounds right now is how much damage a tank shell does, and at the moment there's not really any reason to not run auto repair, so hopefully this will give you a little bit of incentive to do that. Increasing racer performance speed bonus, I'm a little bit torn on this one, to be honest. I don't have any problem with it, but racer actually gives you a pretty significant boost in speed already. However, I would definitely agree that Precision Bomber and High G are usually a better choice, so this might make it a little bit more competitive. Now they're going to be doing some work on the nose guns. They are doing a improvement pass on the Vector, and in their words, new high velocity Vector, which will be more effective against air and fast moving targets. I'm a little bit confused about this. I'm assuming what they mean is that they're going to be introducing a new gun, which will be the high velocity Vector. If this is the case, I don't really know that I agree with that. It kind of feels like they're saying, hey, we don't really have a very good Vector right now, so we're going to improve it and make you buy a new gun. However, if they're just doing an improvement on the existing one and improving the velocity of it, that's great. It's been needed for a long time, and hopefully that'll make the Vector better. Now, for belly guns, they're improving the dead zone. At the moment, Liberators have a pretty big dead zone for the belly gun where you just can't get on target and you can't hover directly above a target due to the fact that your belly gun can't actually aim there. That's always been a little bit weird to most people. Hopefully this will fix it. They're increasing the direct hit damage of the Zephyr and reducing the splash damage of the Dalton. I think these are both great things to do. At the moment, the Dalton was honestly a little bit too versatile. It was quite good against infantry, and it's also very good against aircraft and armor, whereas all the Zephyr really had going for it was pretty good at farming infantry. Hopefully what this will do is mean that there's a lot more of an incentive to pull a Zephyr and a little bit less of an incentive to pull a Dalton if you expect to be running into infantry a lot. There are also plans for 3 new Empire-specific belly guns. The VS will have a large magazine shooting explosive rounds or orbs. The RPM will increase after each shot until forced to reload or the trigger is let go. The NC would have a TV-guided missile, and the TR would have a Zephyr variant that has a larger magazine and higher RPM but does less damage at each shot. Each shot will also increase the cone of fire, allowing it to spray a large area with shells from range. Now, these ones, I'm not sure how I feel about them yet. The VS one actually looks like it's going to be fairly well balanced right off the bat, obviously depending on what kind of damage they give it, etc. It feels like it's essentially going to be a flying PPA, much like what the Harasser has, and that would be a great weapon for infantry. It's been shown to be effective on the Harasser and the Proton for the Scythe, and it's not too powerful, not too weak, does what it does well, and hopefully that's what'll happen on the Liberator. For the MC having a TV-guided missile, I'm a little bit confused about how they're going to be doing this. I'm assuming that it's going to be the same type of concept as the Phoenix missile. However, due to, as SOE has said, in-game limitations, that missile has a range of 300 meters before you can no longer manually guide it. If that's the case on a Liberator, I don't see that being effective. 300 meters from the air is nothing. You can be firing from much further than that with relative accuracy with a Dalton or a Zephyr, and I don't know why you would possibly want a TV-guided missile that basically goes out after 300 meters. However, if they do give it the option to just go into dumbfire mode after that range, I could see it being a little bit more useful. As for the TR, I really don't like the concept of this at all. It kind of feels like what they do to a lot of TR weapons is take a current weapon, give it a higher rate of fire, a larger magazine, and less damage. The problem right now is that the Zephyr already does very little damage and relies on fairly high accuracy to actually get kills. If you do less damage per shot, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually get kills with the weapon. You're going to get tons of assists, but very few kills. In addition, each shot increasing the cone of fire, allowing it to spray a large area with shells from range. That may sound like a good idea from the beginning, but the cone of fire on the Zephyr already makes it incredibly difficult to be accurate with range when you're firing in rapid succession, and increasing that even more is going to basically make it a big shotgun. So, I'm not sure how I feel about these. We'll see what they do when they actually get out onto test server and people start playing with them. I love the idea of giving Liberators Empire-specific belly guns. Hopefully things will work out and they will be well balanced from the get-go. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now, the last one is tail guns. They're going to be doing an improvement pass on a Walker and Drake, which is long past due in my opinion, and adjustments to try and give the tail gun more firing angles, which again, hopefully that'll help the tailgun be much more effective at anti-aircraft, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. They're also planning on introducing a new AA tailgun, which will be a heat-seeking missile launcher similar to Coyote missiles in functionality. I like the concept of this. We'll have to see what kind of damage and range it has. It could easily be fairly overpowered against one ESF at a time if it's not done carefully, but hopefully what it'll do is give people a little better way to counter an ESF on your tail and help out newer Liberator crews survive. Actually, one more final thing. They're also doing a pass on ammo capacities, which they're saying most weapons, even beyond the scope of the Liberator, are being adjusted to even them out based on killing potential. I'm assuming that in general this is going to mean Liberator weapons have a much lower maximum ammo capacity. I'm pretty much in favor with this. It's been typically agreed that one of the problems with the Liberator is that it carries so much ammo that you can just stay over a fight for minutes on end, constantly pounding them, and they have no way of fighting back. Hopefully what this will do is force the Liberator to go back for ammo every once in a while, giving people time to pull counters, AA, and get ready for it to come back and have a little bit more of a chance at fighting. In addition, I'm not sure if this is still on the drawing board or not. They didn't say anything about it in the update, but on the original post they did talk about the ability to add a drop seat attachment to the Liberator, which would have room for 4 to 6 troops. This would be a pretty cool idea. I don't know how functional it would be, since there wouldn't really be much incentive to use that over a Galaxy, but, you know, always good to get more options. But anyway, that's everything in the post. I thought I'd just make a video going over it and doing my first impressions. Like I said, I'm incredibly excited for this update. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and hopefully it gets more people into Liberators and gives them a little bit more to do. So, thanks for watching.